This may look like just another video which starts off with some guy walking around his car trying to convince the world and himself he's the next Jeremy Clarkson. And it is, but there's more to it than that. There's more to it because I'm going to share with you my actual real experiences with this car as an owner, as someone who's driven it for a few months and has had some ups and downs, which may well be worth your time, particularly if you're in the market for a used estate car, or more particularly a used Volvo V70 estate car. Now, before we get to the stuff which will hopefully be of real value to you, I want to give you a bit of background. As you already know, this is a Volvo V70. It's the third generation of the Volvo V70 estate car. This particular model was built in 2008 and it cost us around 7,000 euros, which sounds like a lot of money because it is, and that was before we started putting even more money into it to get it to the level it is now. I'll get into those details later, and those details will give you some insights as to what you may be spending if you do opt to get a used V70, a used Series 3 V70, as some of the issues we encountered were quite common, or at least known to be quite common with this model Volvo, and others not so common, just unfortunate. A key question: why did I decide to fork out 7,000 euros and buy a used Volvo estate car? Well, one, we had a child, it was time to upgrade, to upsize, and we previously had an Audi A2 that was no longer practical. A Volvo estate car ticked numerous boxes. Obviously the size was one of those boxes, but it also came with a solid reputation for reliability. And this particular model is a 2.5 litre petrol turbo, the T5, and it has an outstanding reputation for being a somewhat indestructible motor. This car has 260 something thousand kilometres on it now. It did have about 250,000 kilometres on it when we first bought it. We've done 10,000 kilometres so far, and I'll get into that later, but for now, telling you a bit more about why we bought it. I did look at a number of other options and decided the Volvo was just the right car for us, and maybe that's partly because of my experience in the Netherlands. Here it's one of the most popular vehicles on the road, and I do wonder if that swayed me in some way. Let me talk you through some of the issues we've encountered with this V70, if I can remember them all, because there's been quite a number of them. So first, it stunk of dog, so we needed to get that taken care of. I think we've almost addressed it. Initially that cost us 300 euros to get it steam cleaned and vaporized and whatever else they did to it, and that didn't take care of the smell completely, so I did do a bit more work myself. That involved a bit more scrubbing and polishing and whatnot. I think it's almost resolved now. There's still a little trace of dog. Anyway, next, the tyres. A new set of tyres were required. That cost another 600 euros. Then the car was up for its annual service, a major service, around another 500 euros. And then... But those are fairly common issues for many vehicles. We also had to have a seal replaced for the timing belt housing as it was leaking, and as the housing was being taken apart anyway, we got a new timing belt, which usually needs to be replaced on these motors around every 150,000 kilometres. We also had the rear suspension bushes replaced, and those jobs together cost a little over 2,000 euros. And there's been some other minor costs along the way, but that pretty much sums up the major expenses, and we're looking at about 3,500 euros in addition to the 7,000 euros. So we're up to 10,500 euros, give or take, to get the car to the stage it's in now. Seems like a lot of money, doesn't it, for a 2008 estate car? And it is, isn't it? But the car it's great now. It really is. It's driving really nicely. It's handling really well. No real complaints. I think it's going to keep going. As I mentioned earlier, it's the 2.5T, an engine with a solid reputation for going and going and going. And at 260,000 kilometers, many will say this has just been run in. Time will tell. I'll keep you updated. But for now, feel free to subscribe, because if you do subscribe, that'll get us closer to being monetized and will give us an opportunity to share in the fortune which these videos are generating. And comment if you've got something to say. Please add to the discussion. And if you liked it, like it, please. Thank you. Goodbye.
The look,
oh my God,
the look is, I'm coming for you. Oh my God, it's going to leak.
Oh, it is licking our car. Oh, oh my God.
This is incredible. Look how beautiful it is.
Oh, yeah,
She's going to clean your car.
No, it's going to get,
She's
no,
kissing it.
no,
She's
no.
eating all this stuff out of it.
No, 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 no.
Oh my God.
That's not good. That can't be good. It's not good for anyone. It's not good for the car. It's not good for the giraffe. Okay, that's enough. Okay, that's enough.
Really passionate about it as well.
Can't drive off, can I? Oh, that's enough.
Oh, that's what she's leaving on.
Oh, yeah, that's